Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week, and your chance to participate with Kevin and Shawn in the monthly Nash and Friends watch-along show. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
Following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Oh, you've caught me enjoying being on top of the mountain, as they call it, on DraftKings, Kevin. Here we stand on top of the mountain right now.
5-1.
That's right.
And if we wouldn't have had to have chosen so early in the week, we would have got the it would have been 14.5 instead of 13.5, and we would have covered by a half.
Yeah. Yeah, just so everyone knows the rules of this, we have to pick, we shoot this show on Wednesday. So we have to pick Wednesday. Well, last week we picked college, so we picked Wednesday for Saturday. And we were, the line had moved, oh, God, like, it was a 1.5. Went down. We ended up having to take it at, what do we, got 13, and then it went to 14.5. And which that like 1.5 was the difference in that game. So
yeah, we would have covered by a half.
Yeah, we would have had it, but that's how it
goes.
That's,
I mean, the rules are the rules. So I mean, they weren't. I just liked the fact that we made some picks that were off the,
yeah, tough games to find too on the dial.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Coastal Carolina action there.
I just knew that Coastal Carolina they were suspect after that UCLA. There was like a little trilogy. I was just following those games, and UCLA ended up, crushing San Diego State.
So this week we did two. We'll let everybody know.
2 pros.
We did 2 pros and 1 college. Our pros we're taking 2 dogs. We're taking Vegas getting 9.5 versus Buffalo. I'm very confident in that game. Less so in the second.
But you're going against your boys.
Well, see, if I played this, if I actually bet this, the line that I have on DraftKings is 8. So, what is it? Is it 8? Let me look. Because I was turned off by, and it just jumped. So that's why we jumped on it here, because we were looking at the progression of the line through the week. And then we saw that it just jumped. This is Dallas and, it went from 8 to 9. So, and I had it pegged that it should have been a touchdown 7. So we'll see. Anyway, we're taking the Jets and the points. Dallas will win by 6.
And I mean, by watching, I watched, except for maybe the last 4 minutes of the Cowboy game, and their offense is not. One thing I will say is the Jets' defense is real. It sickened me to see Rodgers go down. I thought it was a.
You mentioned the spiral break.
I thought it was a tip fib spiral break. The way he rolled. He rolled with him. He almost tackled him like a crocodile or an alligator does. Where
when they roll you up
and they spin you. Yeah, it was that kind of a thing, and it's just like I was so excited. I can't remember the last. And the thing was by watching those Hard Knocks, you get a feel for the team, and I was really pulling for the Jets. and I really, because I'm a Lions fan, I've hated Rodgers my entire life. Because I mean, I mean, that was just a loss. There was 2 losses every year.
Yeah.
And now he was with the Jets. I've been a Jets fan since they had Joe Namath, and I thought it'd be a cool story because Brett Favre left the Packers and went to the Jets, and he didn't get it done. I thought maybe in my mind I thought, wouldn't it be great if it was the Lions versus the Jets? The last 2 Hard Knocks were in the Super Bowl, and the Lions pulled it off. But then I know that I would have I'd be cremated like within the next week because I know that'd be the end of my life.
Yeah, there's no reason to go on if that.
No,
ever
that's
happened.
it. The Lions win the Super Bowl. I'm toast.
You're actually probably asleep if that happened.
Yeah.
Now, but did you in any way, when I first heard about the signing, I kind of had split personality about it. From a business decision, from a management, I said, great move. They're going to sell a ton of T-shirts, ton of press. The eyes of the NFL will be on your team. And that doesn't happen to the Jets other than signing Aaron Rodgers. So great move, a lot of attention, a lot of press, a lot of money. They're going to fill the stadium, and great. But then the other side of me said, I mean, I played Aaron Rodgers on a fair share of prop bets last year, and he never could produce. So what would have made the Jets think, now I know locker room leader, all that stuff. I'm talking about on the field. I think it would have been subpar performance, beyond the fact that he played 4 plays and went down with a season-ending injury. I think if
I
he
don't think
stayed,
so.
it would have been.
I think that I mean, I think the biggest takeaways from this whole thing are they brought an offensive coordinator in and basically changed the Jets' entire offense to fit Rodgers. So Rodgers ended up being like a coach. And even though that kid now that's going to be the quarterback has been there a couple of seasons, it's like he's in a new system. So, and I just don't see them changing the system, a game in. I don't see them going back to the old system because they're not going to change their offensive coordinator. So, and I'm just, I'm really curious. Is this it for Rodgers? Because he's 40. I mean, that's a huge undertaking. Achilles.
Right, and that's the thing, is that it's not just that he's out for the season; he can come back. There's recovery. As a quarterback, it was his left foot, so it's not his plant foot, right? Was it his left? I feel like it was his left, and he's right-handed.
Yes.
So it's not his planting foot, at least, but still, I mean, for mobility in the pocket, you need your feet. You know what impressed me most about the injury, about him when the injury happened? He didn't sell it.
No.
He sat. I thought he was winded. I thought he got the hitting a solar plexus or something.
See, I thought it was
I
thought it was a high groin. I thought it was like, because I saw him get rolled. And
and then he twisted.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I thought it may be
too.
like a groin or something like that, where he stood up and you get that real bad pain, like up in your taint, where you're like, oh God, I pulled my groin, pulled a hamstring. Let me sit down on this. And then when they, I mean, it was like he was in a boot before you could blink.
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought it was a spiral. I thought, because they swell quick. And I've had a spiral, tib-fib spiral break. And, that's a plate and 9 screws. And
with the ACL, one of the doctors chimed in when they were trying to figure out what happened. It hadn't been confirmed. It was shortly after it. They keep replaying it. And the medical guy pipes into the channel and talks about he sees a tightening in the calf through the sock, like when he sat up. and he said that would be indicative of the. Explain that to me.
Well, what happens is when the Achilles tears, it's gonna come up. As it comes
so it
up,
rolls, it tightens and
yeah,
rolls up.
it rolls up, which is going to make that calf, because that's Achilles hooks to the end of your calf, then hooks to your heel bone. My sister tore her Achilles, man. She messed with that damn thing for 2 years.
Wow.
And she's like I am. We both have had so many damn surgeries between knees and. I tore my quad. She tore her Achilles. Those things just go like after.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're active when you're young. If you play sports like from the, especially in the cities where half the time you're on asphalt and. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we'll see if it's the end or not, but.
I hope not, but.
Do you think the Jets make the playoffs?
I really like the coach. I mean, the defense is unbelievable. The defense just.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Did you see with the one guy that got the 3 picks? His bonus for the year was he was to get $250,000 bonus if he got 3 picks. And he got it in the first game.
No, crazy.
Yeah,
sweet.
I was amazed that that the Lions got the because we have Thursday was the Lions, and we haven't even talked about that, have we?
No. Yeah, I hit my bets. You were cautious, but I was a believer.
And we talked about giving Seattle the 5.5.
Oh, today, yeah, we were flirting with that.
But like I was talking to my sister the other day on the phone, and she's like, man, Seattle always just kind of has our number, always that running scheme, like she said, and she hates Carroll. I don't know, she just does. I hate Carroll. So I don't know. He's had our number for a long time, and I just think that. This will be a huge to come off of an away loss, an away win to a home opening loss to Seattle. I just don't see it happening. But
the points.
I didn't see us going 0-16 either. So.
Yeah, I had them last week. I took the points. I took Lions in the 4.5, and they won outright.
Yep.
All right, and then our last bet is a college bet. We're going with Kevin's alma mater, Tennessee.
Tennessee Vols.
We're given 6.5, so we're under a touchdown against
going
against
my my state school here that I live in. So,
and the other new Nash news of the week. If you follow Kevin, you might have seen it on socials, but Kevin got a very, very nice tattoo. Of Tristan.
Got my son on my forearm.
Do the here. Go like that. Hold the sideways. Yeah. Bring it in a little. There you go.
That's his face, and then that's his forearm.
His arm beside him. I saw the picture that it's based on, and it's
his forearm. Like he's got his watch. He's like this. He's got his. He's
like that.
Showing his artwork.
How long did that take?
About 6.
That's not bad.
6 hours.
Yeah, that's a remarkable art to me to be able to.
I wanted it bigger up here, and he said, "No, man." He said, "Your delt's so fucking." He said, "Your kid, Teal look like a pumpkin." He said, "I need something."
Up.
Yeah, because it's too round,
Yeah.
So I said, "All right."
Yeah, that's great. Nice tribute. Oh, some feedback to last week's show. Royd R. Says, sometimes it's hard to tell if Kevin's talking about Shawn, or Shawn. You are suddenly surrounded by a lot of Shawns. I've been on the phone with Kevin before, and Tamara's walked by, and she goes, "Who are you on the phone with?" He goes, "Shawn." She's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, Oliver." Yeah. Citizen Beeswax says Shawn isn't hungry anymore. Back in his shoot interview days, he never bored me to death like he does now. And Nash doesn't get a pass either. He acts like he doesn't want to be there. He's just waiting for it to end. Nash is a shell of his former self, and Shawn isn't helping. The show has been going downhill since Razor and Tristan passed. I think they both need a nice vacation recharge to recharge their batteries. Sad. I don't know which Shawn he's talking about. So,
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what this guy. I'd like to follow this guy around for
Citizen Beeswax?
Yeah, 60 weeks to see what fucking jovial, cheerful person that he is.
Well, for every one of those, there's a few of these. Grotto says as a 20-plus year veteran of TV, radio, and pods, I just want to acknowledge Shawn's amazing gymnastics when it comes to the ad segues. It's not easy, but the man would win a gold medal if it were an Olympic sport. Part of the charm of the show is listening for how Shawn will seamlessly and shamelessly transition from talking about Kevin's masturbation methods into a cell phone ad. Well done, Holmes. See?
What Shawn are they talking about?
Exactly. Kelly Carlson, thanks for putting out the healthy eating info. Spot on. More people need to unlearn what they have been told is healthy eating. Changed my ways to extend my life. Down 165 pounds and off all meds. Keep it up, guys. Love the show. Oh, it's Kylie Carlson. I'm sorry, I said Kelly. It's Kylie. Well done. 165 off all medication. Amazing. You just added years to your life, my brother. Kylie. That's a male, right? I said
no. I'm going to go with Kylie. Well,
I'm just going to they. I'm going to they it.
Yeah.
They added years to their life. MGT, KMG. Shawn loves to claim that it's not a wrestling podcast so much. LOLOL. Kevin wants more wrestling talk, and so do we. I find that maybe not to be true, Kevin. Would you like a little more wrestling than we do here?
It just depends on if we... I mean, our show is... Our connection originally was through wrestling.
Yeah, of course.
But as we... talk throughout when we talk throughout the week.
We never talked wrestling.
No, we never. We don't talk wrestling. I mean,
this show we talk wrestling.
Yeah, a little
to prepare.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't get a chance. Right now, it's nearly impossible for me to fucking catch all the football games with college and pros and watch wrestling. It's just, I don't, I won't watch probably any, very little. I haven't watched Raw yet, and it's Wednesday. And usually Tuesday night is the latest before I watch Raw, because I always watch it before and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And SmackDown is turned into such a nostalgia show that
we'll get there. Now the next comment is Reese Hayes, who says, do love this podcast, fresh with the 15% wrestling and 85% talking as if you were at the bar. I like that it's just genuine. So, folks, what is my point here when I put these two opinions about me, these two opinions about talking wrestling on the show? You can't listen to anyone, because for everything you serve, there's somebody who wants something different and somebody who loves what you have on the menu. I think we have a lot on the menu. We have a lot. Listen, we have a lot. We have more on this menu than any of the other wrestling podcasts.
I think we're very Cheesecake Factory.
That menu is, you could have an epileptic seizure trying to decide what to eat at the Cheesecake Factory.
My God.
There's so much shit on that menu.
It's like
There's
those
too
White
much.
Star diners up in like, there's that White Star that's in White Plains. That White Star diner, and you go in there, and that thing, man, when the Kliq used to travel, if we could find a diner that had alcohol, oh my God. I mean, because I'm one of those people that the best meal on earth is steak and eggs. Like that, you just can't go wrong with steak and eggs and the hash browns. Like, and you can drink a beer with that. It's like,
So that was your post. There's your post-match jam if you could get to a diner.
if you could get to a diner, maybe just cut the hash browns out, but just nice little 12-ounce New York strip with 4 eggs over medium.
Nice.
As I've gotten older, I now order poached eggs because then you don't have to worry about oil and all that shit. Forever.
What would you have it with when you did the steak and eggs? You would do them over medium, you said,
Over
right?
medium. Yeah.
Would you eat them separately, or would you lay the eggs on the steak and just cut right
Oh
through
yeah,
them?
you got to mix it all
Get the
up.
whole thing, right?
Yeah, you got to
Tremendous. A
Then
little
you
toast
got
with a little toast with that?
a little rye, a little dry rye.
Okay. Coffee, beer.
Beer at night, and then coffee and ice water in the mornings.
Rip Rogers, Smokey Johnson says the brand split made me stop watching Raw back in the day. Was not a fan at all. It wasn't until COVID and there was no sports to watch that I rediscovered my love of pro wrestling. Been watching Raws and Nitros ever since. So we covered the brand split last week, and he found it as troubling as we thought it was too.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett here to tell you about SaveWithConrad.com. You've heard Conrad talk about the total nonstop savings they provided current homeowners. But did you know Conrad and his team can also help my world listeners become homeowners? They make buying a home easier than getting the bag after a good housekeeping match. But don't take the Last Outlaw's word for it.
Franklin Dove, Orlando, Florida. After listening to all of Conrad's podcasts and hearing the different stories that he shared, I felt the time was right for me to explore buying a home again, and reached out, and one thing led to another, and finally closed last week. It was excellent. Everything flowed smoothly from my first contact. I just put in the initial request online. Francis reached out. We started the application process, got the approval moving. Holly was great. Larry Thompson was amazing. Everything was smooth. Communication was perfect. Really, it was a much better experience than anything that I could have imagined. My name is Franklin Dove in Orlando, Florida, and I got into my dream home thanks to SaveWithConrad.com.
That's right. In my world, it doesn't get any better than 5 stars. Don't let your landlord get over on you. Walk out on that bad deal and stop throwing your money away on rent today with SaveWithConrad.com. That's right. It's SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
I gonna go ahead and say that though I did not watch Raw, I did watch some wrestling. Last night at midnight, I guess Netflix.
The first person to watch wrestlers on Netflix was Kevin Nash.
Netflix,
12:01.
Netflix dropped wrestlers at 12:01, and at about 9:15, to my wife coming down the stairs telling me they caught the criminal that was on the run from the prison break. Yeah, whatever time that was, I was finishing up the last episode of Wrestlers. So
How many episodes are there?
Maybe 8. I think they're 58 minutes long or something like that.
Wow, you watched 8 freaking hours of
Yes.
Al Snow.
Yep. Well, Al's a friend of mine, and it's just
I like Al. I've worked with him multiple times.
yeah.
but
It was very. It was
Could be a bit much.
It was the show that I want heels to be. It was like.
Well, you're
heels-
talking about a scripted and a reality, obviously. There.
Yeah, this did not have a scripted feel to it. You know, I mean, I'm sure that there was some. It just didn't have. I watched one of my other guilty pleasures is Selling the OC. It's the Oppenheimer group. It's on Netflix. It's a bunch of fucking Barbie dolls and a couple of Kens, and they sell
What do they sell?
real high end Orange County
real estate. Oh yeah. There's a bunch of those shows too. They're cluttering
And
the
it
dial.
is
Now
so-
wrestling shows are cluttering the dial.
It is so bad. I watched it. It just came out like a couple days ago. I watched all 6 episodes, but they're only like 34 minutes. I watched all 6 episodes right in a row, just banged them out. But like, you and I would be talking shit about somebody, and we would be in an argument, and the people that we were talking about because we saw this thing happen in the office are like 3 feet away, and the other people at the desk are going. It's so god awful. Like, there's just no way. Sophomores in high school wouldn't act like these people.
Well, most reality TV is ridiculous. It's a reality show. I guess, right?
It's reality. It's but it's not even reality.
Quote
it's
unquote
just,
reality.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
We
it's
have
actually
live-
it's a fashion show. Like, all the women like really get dressed up.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, Orange County, California. I can see you got to look a certain way to sell that real estate.
But like
Kliq This TV.
last episode, like the last season, one of Nick Cannon's baby's mamas was selling real estate, and she was attractive. Her name was Bree or something like that. She's a dark-headed girl, and she just the people just vanish, and they bring in like new people. So they brought in some girl. This 6 episodes, they brought this girl in from a big tall girl from Nashville. And she's like was the new girl.
Mm-hmm. I went to real estate. I sold real estate for a while, about 15 years ago. Went to school, did it for like a year and a half, and I didn't like it. I was in school though with I was in class with one of the girls from The Real World. I think the LA episode, the LA season. She married Kenny Anderson of the Nets for a while, and I think you guys can confirm she went on to be on one of those like wife
Of the basketballers,
maybe
or one of those?
basketball wives, yeah. Tammy, her name was. So, apropos,
My wife did real estate for a couple of years, and
we
then
were buying 74 properties a year.
But yeah,
it
that's-
helped to keep the commission in the house.
she keeps her shingle because of that. I just saw where they're putting up a 17-story new condo.
On the water?
Yeah, there's right down from let's see, from here is probably about 3 miles.
North?
Yeah, it's before the Dunlawton Bridge. There's some little cottages. There's like 5 or 6 ocean cottages, and I guess they're tearing those down and putting the.
So it's before all the hotels start. It's still in the residential.
Let me think. We had an ocean. What was that? Ocean Villas that we owned there. We had an Ocean Villas. There's Seychelles. There's Kingston Tower. I think that's the only. I think the other ones are like timeshare things. There's 2 or 3 buildings, older buildings there, like the Sun Glow or whatever that one's called. And this This will be the newer one coming up.
Will you be buying any units?
I don't know. It's a Jim Mack building, so he puts together a nice building. I don't know. It just depends on what they come. If I always like to get 3 or 4 guys to buy like 5 of them. So we have get a couple of different units. Like some people don't want to be high floors. Some people, it's kind of if you just.
Oh, so to diversify it, if you get a few locations in the development, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that way you all kind of split the cost and also split the risk.
Mm-hmm. Risk is one of those words. It could be a noun, and it could be a verb.
Yes.
Depending on how you use it. And not an adjective ever, I don't think. Which, thank you for reminding me that it is time to have the high spot of the show brought to you by Mickey Ray Sinatra and Get Blitzed Lit Aid.
Oh,
we're still good, right? We're still legal. The government hasn't launched their evil plan to allow.
Do you see my eyes? Do you see my eyes right now?
You look a little Asian, actually. It's a touch.
Yeah, I'm a little blitzed tonight.
What'd you do? You did the key lime pie in the Diet Sprite, didn't you?
No, I did not do the Diet Sprite. I had my brother-in-law left a Mountain Dew, so I had to switch to because Mountain Dew wouldn't have been my first choice, but I took it early, and I had to reboot because I was going through those damn wrestling shows. So that's another you've got to be stoned to watch 8 hours of anything. So.
Yeah. But the Get Blitzed Lit Aid, it's what everyone is talking about. If you check our YouTube page, our comments, people are ordering this, and they are having similar life-changing experiences in their supplemental party aids. Listen, this is nano-infused Delta 9 THC sipping syrup, okay? It's potent stuff. It's like think about it like THC but on steroids. It's a syrup. You mix it in any beverage like a tea or a white soda, and with as little as a teaspoon, and a fast onset of 5 to 15 minutes. Nano-infused means it goes right into your bloodstream, bypassing the breakdown in the liver, so it works like alcohol, and it's a tolerance killer. This is not gas station Delta 8 crap. This is the real deal THC Delta 9, like the THC you get from marijuana. If you're in Maryland, you can go to the Stay Lit Smoke Shop in person, meet them, and tell them how wonderful the product is and get it yourself. But the rest of us can get it shipped to us. It is still legal. Get this stuff now before the evil plan to allow doctors to continue to prescribe opiates and legal heroin, but, having the equivalent of a joint in your tea. Don't get me started. Listen, the Get Blitzed website will ship to all 50 states without a medical card as long as you're over 21. And right now you can save 15% by entering the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com. Try the Delta 9 THC Sip and Syrup Lit Aid from Get Blitzed. And remember, that's get-blitzed.com. Use that promo code KLIQ and get your 15% off and see what Nash is talking about.
So what was important about this beautiful product is, as I went into like episode 5, I was starting to lose the buzzki, and
of wrestlers, you were okay.
Yeah. So I re-nanoed, and it's like it takes just it takes 10 minutes. I was just back, just hard into the. I think I made it. I got up, I put it on pause, warmed the oven. Put a Paul Newman's frozen pizza in there. Ugh. The mozzarella. You ever get that one? It's just like the mozzarella, the Paul Newman.
The Newman. I don't know if I've had Newman's pizza.
Oh, that's the only frozen pizzas I eat.
I'm gonna try it now. I like Red Baron. I was a big Red Baron fan before I had to watch the goddamn triglycerides. So you watch 8 episodes, and I'm just trying to get the dynamic in the home. Tamara goes to sleep like a regular human, right?
Yes.
At night, and she sleeps through the night. She's waking up. You're finishing Wrestlers with the pizza crust all on your lap. She comes down to make her coffee, and you say, "Hey, hon, how'd you sleep? Good. What'd you do? Did you watch TV? Yeah, I watched some TV. Good night." Is that it? And you're upstairs.
No.
You stay up?
Yeah.
How long?
I'm not till right now.
When did you sleep?
I haven't.
Jesus Christ. You'll watch more television after this and fall asleep, what, 4 or 5?
Whenever I've got to train. I didn't have to train today. Today was a rest day, so just like if it's a rest day, I mean, I ain't got to do shit.
Oh God. How do you not fall asleep? Just involuntarily pass out, face down, ass up.
I don't know.
It's unbelievable.
Just watch shit.
You know what you should watch? You should watch Larry Zbyszko, as he says. Well, you brought up Scott and the NWO, so I think it's only poignant to remind you that he was the mastermind behind the inception of the iconic NWO.
That's the adjective shot.
Oh, that's still right there.
That's
yeah,
still the
brilliant.
adjective shot.
What was the hat, Kevin?
Bar bat. Okay. Missy Hyatt worked at a bar.
The bar bat on 57th Street
Yeah.
in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Well, I used to go there.
Yeah, Missy Hyatt worked there. I was staying at that Sheridan right around the corner. I came down.
That was pretty hip for a minute in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
But on a recent podcast, he explained that he wanted to create a storyline that would make it appear as though WWE was, get this, invading WCW. How about that shit, huh? So he sat with Eric Bischoff and devised a plan for the debut of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. The quote is, "Well, to be honest with you, I'm the one that programmed the whole angle. They had a meeting in the back one day, and I found out what was going on with Scott Hall coming in, and they had some ideas. Then Eric looked around and said, 'Anybody got anything to say?' And I raised my hand. And he went, 'Oh, God, what?' And I laid out a different idea. I programmed the whole beginning, how Scott Hall came in, and then Nash, and then Six-Pac."
The only problem with Larry's story is that I was signed to a deal. Pac wasn't. Pac.
No, he was trapped in that contract in WWE.
He wasn't coming. So I gotta say that's the first I've heard of it. I call bullshit. And
do you know he came up with the name New World Order as well? Quote.
I thought he wanted to call us the Rothschilds.
Quote. Right before it happened, they came out and I went, "Oh my God, there's going to be a new world order in wrestling." You know, that just trippingly falls off the tongue, doesn't? Terms like that. Eric heard that, quote, Eric heard that and it stuck in his head and said, "That's a perfect name for this. This sounds like dialogue from Heels. There's going to be a new world order in wrestling. Hey, that's a perfect name for this. So you know," quote, "so you know, inadvertently, I named the NWO, and I programmed the whole beginning of that scenario. That got to be the hottest, biggest thing in wrestling."
It's crazy because the only person I ever had a conversation was Eric and Kevin Sullivan.
You didn't get called into Larry Zbyszko's office? Did he have an office backstage?
No.
I know you were a fan of his shirts.
Yeah. No, it's just, you know what though? It's Eric Bischoff says it best. You ask 5 people that were in a room in '93 a story, and you will get fucking 5 completely different. And I want to apologize because last week's show, it was brought up again, the Piper situation, and I had put that to bed. I said, you know, man's dead, leave him alone. But so many people accused me of being hypocritical in the Punk situation because I had struck other people, and I had to go back and explain the reasoning and what and my logic. I didn't say.
What was the open hand versus respecting?
Well, the thing is,
the
I went to Larry first. I went to Zbyszko before I hit Piper, and Larry
he actually hit Piper.
Well, he said it was fine.
Right. Well, he booked it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, you know, we'll call. He says, don't hit him too much because he's going to end up turning that into an adjective.
Mm-hmm.
See what I did there?
Yeah. See the callback.
If I had actual welding goggles on right now, you would not see that my eyes are kind of Asian.
What was Larry doing with Scott? I feel like Larry and Scott got close for a little while. About 10 years ago.
No, they were always close.
But like hanging out at their houses and making stupid videos and shit of them fucking around in the living room. Is this a fever dream I had?
No, Larry Scott always loved it. He loved working with Larry. Scott and Larry. I love every. I've never heard a person say a bad word about Larry Zbyszko in my life.
No, he's just a gimmick, you know.
He's a great
Larry.
guy.
He's
Sounds if I could play. He's probably playing golf right now in the dark.
I told you worked me with the teeth to get an advance on the shoot interview money. It was brilliant. I admired it. I put it in the book with tremendous admiration. How the mind works. That this guy wants me on camera. And if I tell him I might show up without teeth unless I get that advance, that's really going to make his show sound pretty shitty as I lisp through the gap in the bottom of my face. Brilliant. Brilliant. I was happy to give him whatever the advance was to get to the dentist. Happy to be worked. You know what crossed my mind as while we're talking about classic wrestling, I might as well bring this up. Yourself included, a lot of wrestlers did movies, big name wrestlers did movies while they were working and needed some time off to do the movies. Hulk famously, of course, did, well, I mean, No Holds Barred, WWE had a part of that, so that's different. But like he did Suburban Commando.
He was doing Return to Witch Mountain 2 when the NWO, when Larry lit that debt cord.
Well, no, Larry wrote Return to Witch Mountain 2, and that's the reason Hogan got the part.
I didn't know that.
He did Mr. Nanny. Thunder in Paradise was that series he was in. Okay, so I went through my head. I was like, just off the top of my head, Jesse.
Wesley.
Famously did Predator while he was on the announce team with Vince, 86. I want to say 85, 86. Then The Running Man he was in right after that. Piper did They Live, the John Carpenter film. So here's my question. Did the promotion want... Because I know for ads they used to do this. They used to take a cut. Vince had a piece of that Slim Jim deal that Macho used to do when he did the Snap into the Slim Jim ads. One of the reasons Vince had the ongoing, according to Lanny told me this, one of the reasons Vince had the ongoing problem with Mach was when he left, he took the account with him for Slim.
I have a lot to do with that.
Oh, do tell. This is
I
one of those moments.
I
Fabulous.
did a they came to me because I was a champion, and we did a Slim Jim commercial.
I know you did, yes.
And when we were kind of wrapping things up, I was talking to the execs, and I said, man, I'm not the guy. Like, I'm not that. I said, this is synonymous with Randy. I said, you should stick with Randy. So
Vince should have the heat with you. That's fabulous.
on my son's urn. I mean, I said, man, you should stay with Randy.
Wow. That's kind of a monumental thing because it led to long-term heat with Macho and Vince.
Oops.
You fucker.
I thought I was doing Macho a favor.
Wow. So
he takes it. You know what? He's up there right now looking down at me going, Nash, you always had my back.
Similar to that, did wrestling companies take pieces of your either like an agent fee or management fee or something from the movie and television work you guys did?
Not mine.
Never yours.
There's no credits on any film that I did that says Diesel or.
Yeah, but for giving you the time, like in exchange for giving you time to do it.
I think that they knew that I was such a 1099 advocate.
You would have just left and done it anyway.
Yeah, I would. But the only ones that the only ones that I really did was The Punisher. I cut my hair for that, and then after I did The Punisher, I got offered The Longest Yard, and I went and did that. And I was already pretty much done wrestling. Like when I came back from Longest Yard, I went to TNA. So.
I wonder if these other guys had to give up parts of their, like, did Piper have to?
I wasn't going to take. They offered me Sabretooth in the first X-Men, and it was like $160,000 for like 9 weeks or 12 weeks or some shit in Vancouver, and it was freezing cold, and I was like, no hard feelings, man. I said, I'd make that a month. I said, that ain't gonna happen. So. But I do know a gentleman that used to be a tag team partner of mine that'd be perfect for it.
Who did it?
Big Sky. Tyler Main. Tyler Main played. See, I'm a giving guy.
You are. Talking to a friend of yours this week who described you as having, quote, a heart of gold. Matter of fact. I didn't argue. Heart of gold and a sewer pipe between his legs. Because, folks, Blue Chew.
Bam.
Is what gets Kevin through those evenings where, maybe he's found himself up for 48 hours straight watching television, and maybe he's called to the carpet to perform and has to get to the next level. And it's all about the Blue Chew, guys. Let's talk about it. Remember the days when you were always ready to go, whether you were up for 4 days or not? Well, you can get back to that place. You can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed because of our friends at BlueChew.com. What is Blue Chew? Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients to you. Same as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. They're discreet. Pop them, you chew them like a mint, and you're ready to rock in a short amount of time. The process is simple. I want you to go to BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. We had a great testimonial on the show a couple of weeks ago. Guy nearly put his wife into traction with it. Best part, you're going to do this online. No visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. We want to help you have better sex. So go discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. Get the process started. You'll have these tablets in no time. And we have a special deal because you're a listener of the show. Try Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code NASH at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code NASH to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Stiff One of the Week. Kevin,
Makes your cock a fucking weapon.
One of your favorite people in the world is, of course, Mike Lindell of the My Pillow fame.
How dare you fucking call my pillow lumpy?
So this guy, yeah, exactly. This guy's deposition, he's accused of all this seditionist activity. He's hitched his wagon to, I don't care what party you're in, the worst president we've ever had. But somebody makes the mistake, one of the other attorneys, I would assume, makes the mistake of calling his pillows lumpy, and it's all over from there.
Could you imagine if he would have trimmed that mustache just like Hitler?
I was going to say he's not far from it.
No.
Even the top of the head.
Yeah,
he would really just need to lose a half an inch on each side.
Speaking of Minecraft.
Right. Mine pillow. How do you say pillow in German? Mine pillow. Go ahead, play the clip. Let's see what happens here at the deposition.
Okay, and I'm not asking about the lumpy pillow calls.
No, they're not lumpy pillows. That's not what they call on. Okay? That when you say lumpy pillows, now you're an asshole. You got that? You're an asshole, is what you are. No, he's an asshole.
No,
he's an ambulance chasing asshole. That's what you are. Lumpy pillows, kiss my ass. Put that in your book. No, they answer anything, any problem customer that wants to reach Mike Lindell. Those are the ones. I want to talk to Mike Lindell. I want to talk to Mike Lindell. They send them to here and they go, or they call about maybe they didn't get their pillow on time because of the FedEx or whatever. Well, we'll cover them even though it could be somebody else's fault. Nobody called because of a lumpy pillow. But good one though.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
What I'm saying
Obviously, you don't have a My Pillow, too. You don't, do you?
What I'm saying is, Mr. Lindell.
Asshole. What? Go ahead. No, I'm pissed.
I understand.
Yeah, go. When you're saying what?
Listen, they are kind of lumpy. I'm not saying they're not comfortable. It's shredded foam.
I slept in front of a Dominion voting machine with one of my pillows, and I got no sleep. That's what happened last night. I actually went upstairs after watching the wrestler and used that lumpy fucking pillow.
And you could not fall asleep,
I
could you?
could not fall asleep.
Mm.
So I tried to call Mike Lindell, and he would not pick up.
Right. So he was busy taking calls of the FedEx not making the delivery on time.
I think he was just said this numbers is no longer in service. There are no funds.
Can you still get one of the lumpy My Pillows, or are they done?
I don't know. I haven't seen them on late night, and boy, I tell you, if there's anybody that see you on late night, it's me.
Or early morning or afternoon. Florida man, Jersey guy, everyone's favorite moment of the show. Kevin continues to have a DraftKings King of the Mountain like record.
My blitz will pull me through this.
I think when you just go by instinct and don't overanalyze, I think which state does the headline take you to? And you're usually correct. All right, first headline. Anyone who doesn't know what this is, two headlines, one an actual Florida man, one a Jersey guy getting in a little bit of trouble. First headline. Man arrested for using drone to drop green dye in people's pools. Second headline. Man stole excavator and drove it through a Walmart wall. Man arrested for using a drone to drop green dye in pools. And man stole a construction excavator and drove it literally through a Walmart wall.
I'm just going to go on the math of there's more pools in Florida than there is in Jersey. So I'll say that the drone dropping it into the pools is Florida man, and the excavator is Jersey.
No, it's the opposite. Because
Wow.
couldn't you have said there are more Walmarts in Florida than in Jersey? You went with the pools. I would have gone with the Walmarts. No, this is. Let's go to the first story.
I forget about all those out of ground pools in Jersey.
The above ground pool.
Yeah.
Residents in a New Jersey inn saw their summer ruined after a man used a drone to drop green dye into the pool repeatedly, leaving kids and adults sobbing in the heat. Patrick Spina, 45.
You said pools. It's
the
into
headline. Look
their,
at the headline. Scroll up to the headline.
Into their pool.
Steve.
Yeah.
Pools.
He
might have hit the resort might have had different pools.
Yeah, I mean, it's one pool. That okay, that's fine. You win. I
read the headline.
You're an asshole. I don't have a lumpy pillow.
I didn't say pool. I said pools. It's not one pool. It's many pools. It's plural, like an adjective.
And you're an asshole.
Sandra Woolston, operator and manager of the Quality Inn in Galloway Township, said her customers have been targeted dozens of times since late June, ruining their summer fun. The girls are standing here crying, and it was just a nightmare. Look at that picture of the pool.
There's no horrific. Quality Inn in America that's got more than one pool. That's bogus. That is a pool. That's not a pool.
Now scroll down. Right below this picture, zoom in, Steve. Not Whoopi. There, up a little bit. Not Whoopi Goldberg. Above. Paragraph right there. Investigation found that several other pools in Absecon and Galloway were hit with the same dye.
All right.
Nothing further, Your Honor. And then the excavator action. The still image.
I don't even know what an excavator is.
There it is.
What is it? Let me show
There it
you
is. Zoom into that
bigger?
action.
What is it? That's a fucking.
It's like a backhoe, I guess.
Yeah, it's a backhoe. I don't see. That's still that feels Jersey to me.
Seems very Jersey.
Yeah, this seems very waste management.
But isn't the difference usually the Florida man stories usually have no point, no planning, no sensible logic behind anything. And then the Jersey guy is a sociopath and planned to drop green in the pool so people would think it was contaminated with algae. It's well thought out. This guy probably got bombed, grabbed the thing, and just drove it through a wall.
Yeah,
banging dogs and knocking over the Jesus scene there, and the three wise guys, or whatever they're called, the three wise men. I don't know. This was in Gainesville, Florida, by the way, and our friend was named. I always want to give a shout out to
University of Florida, Gainesville.
That's true, Gainesville. There was a terrible serial killer that operated there for a while. Remember that in the 90s?
Wasn't Bundy there?
Bundy was in Florida.
He was in Tallahassee.
But Gainesville was, I think Danny Rawling, the guy's name, was the co-ed killer, I think they dubbed him.
How long ago?
I want to go early 90s, like 91, 92 maybe. Kind of.
I wasn't here then.
So I get a text the other day from my godson, one of my nephews, Nicky, who I think Nicky's 12 maybe. And let me read this to you here. Comes on my sister-in-law's account. So it's like, comes up as Karen, and it says, "Do you have a promo code from Manscaped? I need to shave my balls." I'm like, Karen, what are you talking about? Then I get, "This is Nick." I said, "Oh, okay, I certainly do. Glad it's you and not your mom.
That throw.
It was weird for a moment, and I said code KLIQ, 20% off. He said, "Okay, thanks. Gotta shave, make the tree look bigger." Guys, if a 12-year-old knows how to do this, you should be on the ball here too. No pun intended. Fresh ball fall is upon us, okay? And you know what? You need to be in a festive spirit. Light a candle, get some pumpkin spice, and make sure your bowls look nice. The sponsor of today's show is Manscaped. Nature, they may clear the leaves of the trees, but you'll need Manscaped's help to get you ready for that sweater weather. Get your pants puppies prepared for cuffing season with a trim as refreshing as a fall breeze by going to manscaped.com and using the code Kliq, KLIQ, for that 20% off that Nikki's getting, plus free shaving. It's time for nice flannels, cozy socks, but we cannot forget to trim our... No, it's not going to rhyme. Balls. By now, you've heard of them, but it's the best time to join the 9 million men worldwide using Manscaped, okay? Get the kit that covers it all. The Performance Package 4.0. It starts with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. I have the bag here with the advanced skin-safe technology that reduces nicks and cuts to make raking the leaves less painful. Once you've cleared the driveway, the Performance Package comes in hot with products to cool you down, like the Crop Preserver. Here's the Crop Preserver. Right here, and this is a handy little travel bag. Kevin, you talk about using the travel bag.
That's my travel bag I take on the road.
And then you've got the you've got the nose and ear trimmer.
Do you still have remember the first trimmer we ever got?
Yeah, I have both sets.
Yeah. I use that on my entire. I went from my neck down because I had to get my forearm trimmed. So I did I started with my forearm. I said, I'll do the other forearm. I said, I did my chest, I did my armpits, and went down and took the old El Busho down.
El Busho, that be Mexican.
El Busho.
This is the Crop Preserver. Kevin often talks about little spritz here and there when he's out signing for a long amount of time. He takes his break, goes into the restroom, spritzes his taint with the Crop Preserver. Guys, this set.
Never know when somebody's gonna fall into your lap.
You never know. Well, they want you to stand up for pictures sometimes, and
that's right. They might get a whiff.
7 feet tall, you got your junk in someone's mug. The Performance Package 4.0 caps it off with 2 free gifts, okay? That's the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag that I just showed you, okay? Bring in the fall, right, guys? Get your 20% off and free shipping with the code KLIQ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code KLIQ. As the leaves fall, make sure you have it all with Manscaped.
That way you all kind of split the cost and also split the risk.
Mm-hmm. Risk is one of those words. It could be a noun, and it could be a verb.
Yes.
Depending on how you use it. And not an adjective ever, I don't think.
You know, it's funny. You know, there was a time in my life where, you know, and I mean, this is going to be really hard to believe, but I had just done the curtain call. Was in a steel cage match with Shawn Michaels. It was the largest grossing house in the history of the WWE that wasn't a pay-per-view. Over $300,000 at the Garden. Smoked weed. And then I think it was June the 6th. I showed up with no script and I was going to join Scott Hall on a nitro, and this was going to be our Scott promised a big surprise next week, and this is going to be the first time that we were going to be together on the rival program at Nitro.
That was a shot heard around the world. Is what
Yeah,
that was.
and I had forgotten about it, until LA Knight brought it up on SmackDown, and from the response that the SmackDown crowd gave him, I'm quite sure they've forgotten about it also.
Forgot about it as well.
And I just thought to myself, like, that I read like on different things where it was like he took a shot at me, and I said, how is that really taking a shot at me? I said, so what you're basically saying is, now this is somebody. We'll get to the second part of it. So this is a guy that basically is a bottom feeder. I mean, because if you were to look at it systematically, if Hall doesn't jump and Nash doesn't jump and we don't start our little thing, and all of a sudden the biggest thing in wrestling is who's the third man. We're already beating WWE in the ratings and have now for like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. So that's it doesn't even matter. I mean, Hulk jumping does make a big difference. But we have this now. We have this contract with favored nations. All of a sudden, the guys are Mark Morrow's getting getting $500,000 guaranteed for the WWE, and granted, I mean, I made a mistake because we didn't have everything written for us, and I didn't have anybody. There was no Attitude Era. Like, we had to invent the Attitude Era before you could rip off the guys from the Attitude Era. So it's just like, and so it's like I didn't have a Rock or a Stone Cold to I could have came out there behind Bischoff and just slammed 2 beers behind his back and guzzled them down the front of my shirt had I have known. Scott could have had on a pair of welding goggles, maybe put on some Wu-Tang Timberlands.
Engineer boots. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, but not tucked in like Wu-Tang did. Just have them out, like kind of like the Construction Village people. The guy from the YMCA.
So you find yourself in the ring. You're scriptless.
No, I'm not. I'm actually at the announce position. Eric's at the announce position. The ring is in the background.
Oh, yes. You had the platform.
I do mistakenly say adjective instead of verb, which I guess, I mean, I don't know. I grew up in Detroit. Maybe it's not as, wherever he grew up, somewhere in New Hampshire or Massachusetts or some white bread place. But I just really wasn't like, when I picked like my action heroes or my tough guys or even my favorite pro wrestlers when I was a kid, just grammar and punctuation just wasn't that important to me. Like, I don't remember saying like, man, that guy's grammar is so bad, I don't think I can hang out with him anymore.
Well, that's how these, and you were foolish, because that's how these stars got to the top.
Right.
Lou Thez, Bruno Sammartino, masters of linguistics.
I think,
and parts of speech.
Yes, I think Sammartino is a perfect example. There's a guy that just rocked his SAT. So But you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's been brought to light, and then I saw it. So I start kind of following this chain, this story of how he kind of laid into me. You know, and gave me the old. And it actually says in there that where I didn't know who he was and kind of gave him a hard time, but then came back and said, you know, that I apologized, and you know, if people wanted him to be their chosen one, then he could be their chosen one. I didn't have a problem with it. So it looked like I kind of took the high road, and then he, for some reason, brought up something that, and I understand why he did it, because he doesn't fucking know. He doesn't know. I mean, the guy took him 29 years to get over, so he's going to make mistakes along the way, because it wasn't like he had any kind of clear-cut pattern or plan to make it. Besides, figured he just, the Rock and Steve have been gone long enough that he'd just do their shit. And so he's up. I see where he's up for a new contract. So I called Triple H. And I'm like, Paul, I said, you know, what's the deal with this? You know, because early it said that, you know, that the negotiations were going great, and all of a sudden it seemed like there was a hitch.
I think they're far apart from what I heard. Yeah.
And Paul told me, he goes, you know, he says, I don't understand why this kid, because, you know, and he says, I use that term lightly. I said, what do you mean? He goes, kid. He goes, the guy's my age. I said, I don't think he's quite your age. He's pretty damn close. And I said, are you more worried about the fact that, like, his fan appeal will recede as fast as his hairline is? Like, is that something you're worried about? You know? I mean, because, I mean, it's bad enough. I mean, like I said, unless you're just a knob gobbler, there's no way you would pick those sunglasses as a pair of sunglasses that you would wear. So, that being said, and then Paul said, he said, we're so far apart because the only way I'll sign this guy is on a nostalgia act. I said, what do you mean, like me? Like he's like be on the Legends? He goes,
a Legends deal?
Yeah. He said, well, he's doing their shit. I can't give him same pay as guys that are going out there and doing original shit. It's like fucking, he's like Shecky Green. It's like, fuck, come on. It's just, this guy isn't doing anything. It's like, he came up with, he said, here
Shecky Green wrote his own material.
He went back 27 years to find the adjective. If I would have known that Moses was going to come down while they were building the golden calf with the tablet that said, "Thou shalt not use adjective in place of a verb." If I'd have known that, maybe I'd have written something down before I walked out there. If I was stoned to the bone, I was on guaranteed money. I was talking about Marge and Mein Kampf. I threw adjective out. Forget about it.
Any Mein Kampf reference?
Would you like to come up in my room and see my bird? Well, come on, man. The Dice Man was selling on Madison Square Garden. You bringing that shit up? Come on, dude. You do better than that. Obviously, you can't. So, yeah. So I guess the impasse is that he's been offered a Legends deal, which I would take. I mean, I'm in the Hall of Fame twice. Both times is Kevin Nash. I mean, he's L.A. Knight. What the fuck is L.A. Knight? Was that Night Ranger's first vinyl, the name of it? I mean, what is L.A. Knight? It's like Oz. What are you, just, you're the evening? What is L.A. Knight?
Well, I think it's you're talking about nostalgia acts. Maybe it's an intersection of like L.A. Law and Knight Rider. Maybe something like classic TV. You're going, it definitely appreciates the.
He's definitely
came before
anything
him.
he can fucking steal. He's on top of. That's for sure. Because I don't see anything original.
Listen, my whole thing when I first saw this. Now I got it, obviously. But, and I think maybe people our age got it, but I don't think anyone in the house knew. I mean, I didn't hear the expected reaction. I mean, if
I've only seen that little clip that's on Twitter, so I can't get the house reaction, but I can tell by his reaction that he goes right into the next sentence that he didn't have to like pregnant pause because the house erupted in laughter.
Right.
Hardy, hey.
Which is where I was coming from when I heard it. I was like, okay, responding to Kevin, but why not pick? There are other things he could have chosen. The list of things that he could have chosen to reference Kevin Nash in a not so polite way. You could have done the quad.
Yeah, but
he could have.
See, that's if you're one of the boys, and you put that mojo on your ass, you could end up the next night. You don't want to talk about somebody getting injured
because it was a legit injury. Okay, how about the finger poke? Could he have done something with that? Something clever. Get the writers together to come up with a clever reference to the finger poke of doom.
I mean, that's one of those situations where if you actually have any recollection of that era, Eric Bischoff came out before the show and said that Mick Foley was going to win the world's title that night and not to watch, and 4 million households jumped to watch Mick win the championship and didn't see the finger poke. So
it was Shivani, I think, that made the call. No,
I don't know who made the call. I'm just saying though that 4 million people switched to watch Mick when the.
I would if I were in LA Knight's position and I wanted to pull your braids a little bit, I might have done something like maybe a Ninja Turtle movie reference, the 5 moves with the hair flip. Might have referenced you're knocking the toilet tank back off while you whack off in the bathroom. We've learned a lot about you. That maybe bulkhead avoidance on flights. I could have referenced. I don't know that I would have gone for the adjective.
I don't think. Yeah,
too obscure.
It's just. I mean, it was a good effort. I appreciate it. I got a bunch of pictures of me looking like Robert E. Lee at the first Hall of Fame through social media. So,
all right.
Gonna look like Jules Verne tonight, don't I?
Yes. Are we gonna do the Leagues Under the Sea reference again? I think we.
Yeah. 69 leagues under the sea.
Do I sound weird to you? I'm getting something in the notes here that my mic might be distorted. I don't know. How do I sound
weird to me.
Okay.
Say the word adjective.
I sound boring and was it not hungry anymore, but not distorted.
Obviously, they have been seeing these Kliq These paychecks that we've been. I mean, we're a little bit fat on the hog because, hey, wasn't like we didn't have 6 ad reads last week, much to your chagrin, people that watch.
We did have 6 ad reads last week, didn't we?
So, yeah.
All right, we're back with Ask Nash. Hashtag Ask Nash is how you can get access to him. Listen, this is a gift. Back in the Cameo days, it would have cost you how much to get you to answer a question on camera, Kevin? Well,
I just kept going up because it kept being weirder and weirder, and I thought maybe I'd scare them off. I think it's $200 now.
$200. Here you get it for free if you have an interesting question. And, if you're in the audience, our live audience every week, one of the benefits of being a member of KliqThisTV.com. You can go there, join. It's only $9.99 a month. You get to be in the live tapings here, and you get cool things like Nash and Friends. This month we did Rob Van Dam, RVD, who has a show on the network here called One of a Kind, co-hosted by none other than Dom D'Angelo, who works on our show as well. So check out Rob there. Rob actually was helping out with some medical advice. We showed a clip last week. I wanted to ask David Van Bogelen, one of our live audience members and subscribers to KliqThisTV.com, how he was feeling from his condition. He actually gave him the recommendation of a Kratom brand that would help him. And David, how did it go? Shoot up a... So it's been fantastic so far. Pain relief and no ill side effects so far. Tremendous. So we're doing a service too, Kevin. It's like we're touching all bases. You know, but you want us to just do wrestling, according to...
I want more.
More wrestling, right?
Less lumpy pillows, more wrestling.
More wrestling. Like Fernum Schnavitz, your brother's favorite
my brother texts me today, will you be hearing from Fernum Schnavitz tonight?
Fucking A. Take a picture of that screen and send him the text right now.
My brother sent me a shot last night. He said something to the fact of, can't wait to have myself some real Detroit pizza. And there was a picture of this that they were pulling out of the oven. This, you know, I looked at it. And I said, yeah, when we were kids, we called that lasagna. My brother popped.
Is he like a bull buster just like you? It sounds like he's...
God.
Might even have you beat on that.
He's like Bob Newhart. He's not through the radar, but he's like, God, he used to fuck with T, and like T didn't like him like for a little while because he would just fuck with T, and he didn't know his sense of humor. Then we all got together, and then he noticed like my sister's just as bad, and we all are like practical jokers to the point where, and I told the one I think on this show where my sister told her wife, that's an executive for Little Caesars, that they weren't allowing anybody over the Windsor Bridge for the fireworks. So she told everybody in the office, like, don't think you're going to get over to Windsor. My sister was like, oh, I was just fucking with you. She's like, I told that, like, you know, like the high ups, like, so yeah, it just never stops.
Yeah, I sent you a picture to forward to your brother there of the format here. But Fernum would like to know, Kev, is there one guy you disliked as a worker but liked as a person? Also, is there one guy you loved to work with but didn't care for as a person? So they're the flip-flop there.
That's almost an impossibility.
To dislike someone as a worker but like them as a person,
yeah.
and then love to work with somebody but they weren't a good person.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody.
One carries over into the other. You say,
yeah. It's if you're the shits in the ring, you're the shits
as a person.
Yeah, it's like part of when you're one of the. I mean, you know, when you think about it, right?
Well, there might be a guy on the basketball team that was riding the pine that wasn't very good, but was a really nice kid, no?
Yeah, but you want to happen to go out and have him do 50% of the shit. You go out in the ring with somebody that blows. At the 6 to 7 year mark of your career, every night should be a night off.
Matt Bourne, not a great worker?
Great worker.
Great worker. But not a good person, right?
He was a great worker. I just thought he was, for me, he was very careless.
Oh, in the ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
He dropped me and Scott on our heads a couple of times.
Oh, that's not a great worker then.
Well, I mean, he was a great worker. He just was careless.
But as a wrestler, your job is not to be fucking careless with somebody's body.
I got along fine with Matt as a human being.
Right. But the makeup behind the ears must have troubled you a little bit, right? On the neck. Yeah.
I wasn't banging him.
All right. Yeah. Yep. Another rumor dispelled tonight.
Yeah.
On the run sleeping. Kev listens to real hip hop Did he pick the Rough Riders for the WCW soundtrack? Because pay-per-view is the best rap wrestling track ever, especially those Jadakiss and Styles P versus Just God tier bars. Did you have anything to do with that? Recommending music for WCW? No. Okay. Oh, my fucking arm. I have a pinched nerve or the stenosis in my neck now is destroying my arm, Kevin. I think do I need stem cells? What do I need?
You go to a chiropractor?
I haven't gone in a while. I could go back.
Sometimes just you sleep on. Is that the shoulder you sleep on?
I flip flop through the night. I had an MRI. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I had something years ago, and they said it was stenosis, and there was compressing one of the nerves. Went to physical therapy for like 3 fucking months, and I guess it worked. It didn't.
I
bother
bought
me.
this fucking gimmick on Instagram, and it's 3 bellows, so like 3 accordions, and you put it around it, and you Velcro it, and you pump it, and it goes.
Oh, you're going to be like one of these broads in Africa with the rings around.
So Jackson. So I do that. That's probably why I don't sleep. I've got that fucking thing jacked like this, so all my fucking discs are not compressed.
What do you need a longer neck for? Is it? It's to separate the discs.
Yeah, because man, I get that numbness on the tip of my fingernail on my left hand. I just had.
That's what started my thumb and my forefinger on my left hand.
Yep.
Straight down. Now I got to go get this crank. Was it like a jack? Is it like a car jack?
It's like a $49. It's unbelievable. It's the cheapest piece of shit you think, but you put that thing on, man, and I see like the biggest problem is we both we're doing this right now. That's just so bad for your neck.
It's all bad. Leaning down is bad. Looking down at the phone, the computer.
Just the simple thing of doing this. That's an actual exercise.
That's my nerve compresses now when I go back like that. That's back into the left. I can't go back into the left because that's when it starts to.
Well, but just going back will start to strengthen those. I've had to do these rope pulls with like barely any weight, but it's like a rope pull back, and it's to get my traps to fire lower. Like my lower traps aren't firing. But it's just all fucking. I sent my MRI to a very renowned neck specialist in Birmingham.
Dr. Anderson.
No, it's
Andrews.
It's his group.
Okay.
This is the neck surgeon that does all the WWE guys. So we talked maybe on Monday, and he's like, and this is the thing that you forget. He says, "You're how old now?" I said, "I'm 64." He goes, "Well, I'm looking at your MRI." He says, "I see necks that are 44 that look that bad." And that used not to be the thing. It used to be I was the 30-year-old guy that had the neck that looked like the 60-year-old guy. Now I'm the 60-year-old guy that's got the neck that looks like a 60-year-old guy. You know, he said, "Yeah, you've got some things going on." I said, "First thing we'd have to do is do a nerve test where they fire something through your neck and how long it takes to go to the end of your fingers, and they do a nerve test first." He said it could be as easy as a nerve block. He said it could be as, you may have to have some disc work. He said you definitely got 2 areas in your neck. I think it was 2, 3, and 4, 5, or 5, 6, something like that. But those areas of my neck are pretty fucked up.
Throw that lumpy pillow out, bro.
Yeah, I'm suing Lindell, Mike Lindell.
Who's in the audience with a question here? Let's hear from our people. Headingite, has Kevin seen that clip of Bam Bam going around where the pyro starts for the second hour of Nitro, literally mid-match? Why did they do this in 1999? Here's the timestamp. It was the 3/199 show at the 47-minute mark. So just to understand, so the pyro that they start the show with, I guess mistakenly gets set off during Bam Bam's match. That had to be an error, right? Obviously. The second hour, because they would they do an opening every hour? I'm trying to remember. His match should have wrapped up before the end of the hour. Then,
well, not only that, it's just we did 3 hours of Nitro.
Yeah.
By then, we were doing 3 hours of Nitro.
Yeah, but that 9 o'clock slot, that was when Raw came on, so that was that important. So I guess they did a new opening at that time, and Bam Bam's match hadn't finished. He was supposed to go home, would be my guess, heading out.
Yeah, that place was such a clusterfuck by then.
Who else? Thank you, heading out. Who was that?
Who was stoned?
Came up and went. I didn't see it. What was it? Britt, I'm so upset I forgot my question for Uncle Kev. I just started smoking weed again after a summer hiatus.
God bless you.
Listen, if it comes to mind, put the Rugrats blanket down and type the question.
Mine is usually 4 days later.
Well, because you're up.
Yeah. That's why I'm up, because I'm trying to figure what was I going to say?
What the hell was I going to do? Yeah. All right, another one. Who else we got? Britt, if you remember it, we'll ask it.
Do you remember when I had like the really bad stuttering problem and the CTE and all those things? And then it's just like if I come down here and I'm stoned and I just am just relaxed and just.
Well, there's a difference between drinking a bottle of wine and having some THC. It has a very different effect.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that
wine has no effect. I cannot believe that I have done 63 episodes.
Yes.
And I have not sat down here and had a bottle of wine during one of these shows. And I would have thought, if you would have told me when this started, that would have been
that would be one of. I would expect that to be a signature thing of this show,
right? And
that red wine is being.
In my mind, I was gonna try to get different vineyards to do a sponsorship with us, and I would go over the wines and the wine for tonight. We'd show the label, and
they don't mind if we use F words, do they? It's fucking great wine.
Like the Damone.
This is great iced tea.
Great iced tea. Never drinks a sip of it.
This is disgusting that I know from that one, like Damone, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's just
ridiculous.
That's such a great scene because he just says, "Hey, Stacy, this is really great iced tea." He never takes a drink.
The wisdom of Damone. I could do a whole book. Wherever you go, that's the place to be. Kevin, my closest friend's dad, Jim, is turning 79 on the 17th. 2 tours in Vietnam. 101st Airborne, 2 Bronze Stars. He's an amazing man, and it would mean a lot to him for a nice shout-out. So?
Jim, from Kevin Nash, Shawn Oliver, Kliq This, we like to give you a shout-out. Thank you for your service. Hope your knees aren't too screwed up, but you're airborne, jumping out of planes.
Jumping out of that plane, yeah. Well done, man. You got out of that debacle.
Yeah, and, I'm sure that I'd like to meet you because there ain't many like you around anymore.
Word. Well done. Real life heroes. Trill Mexican 305 says, "What are your memories of this match in Japan, tagging with Liger, taking on Scott Norton and Masa Saito? Thanks. Love the podcast. Florida Man, Jersey Guy segments as well." I did see that on Twitter. They had
I saw
some
it on
clips.
Twitter. The missed clothesline is that must have that's so horrible. But that was my first tour of Japan, and we won. Liger and I won the tag team tournament. It was called Crush the Super Heavy, and Liger and I were the champions. So my first trip over, we won.
Look at that. That's tremendous. I would have kept you with Liger your whole career. Just that visual.
That
Tremendous.
wouldn't have sucked.
Let me look at that robe a little. Let me see the detail there.
Early was it Bob Mackey that did Cher stuff?
It could have been.
Some Mackey guy.
Bob Mackey was the fashion guy.
Yeah, Bob Mackey did that. Actually, it was Susie Tennis from Dallas who used to do all the Sting stuff. Did the Oz gimmick.
Pel L says, "Hi, Shawn. Saw you on the Hughesy show and noticed a parallel between wrestling and the Stern show. Freedom to be creative by individuals is removed by out-of-touch leadership, killing both shows. What are your thoughts? Love you both. Love the show. Thanks for everything." Well, listen, if Vince has a lack of creativity and is out of touch with what's going to sell and doesn't allow writers or creatives to steer the product, then of course. And I agree that the Stern show hasn't been the same since he was no longer the angry man, the overlooked, the overworked, the guy who hated his. Once he became the billionaire who married the model, I think his appeal to every man started to die.
I think that to me, he was the married man with kids that played the dirty old man, and then he ended up being the dirty old man.
Yeah, but I just think that people identified with his lust for having a certain kind of life, and going home to the same stresses, that family stuff that every guy had, and he'd complain about the fucking kids, and he'd go to the basement to whack off, and then he became a Hollywood Howie, and people can't relate to Hollywood Howie. So that's what I think of that. Derek Lester, has Kevin has ever talked about the '94 Royal Rumble, where he appears to lay some hard shots into Virgil? Was there anger, or was that part of the show? Could be a good
El
stiff one of the
Recito.
week. Receipt for what?
He jabs me. He punches me right in the mouth.
And couple of what was shots to the back of the neck, or were you?
I remember it
forearms.
Like it was that when you get punched in the front teeth, nose kind of thing, jab. That one that kind of makes your eyes
water up, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of lost my shit. I remember it like it was yesterday. Like I was thinking to myself, like, that wasn't the most professional thing you've done.
Well, you certainly made your point, I guess.
Derek
Lester even realized it.
Yeah, at the same time though, man, like that was my night. Like that was the night that Diesel was set to, when I walked in, it said Diesel eliminates Diesel, and I was like 7 or 8 people I was eliminating, and there was times where I was going to be standing in the ring by myself, and they were either going to chant Diesel or shit on me, and they chanted Diesel, and that was the night that they made me in Providence. So I was going to make sure.
I heard it was supposed to be Virgil until that moment. Everything got turned upside down after he stiffed
Yeah,
it.
I call an audible.
All right, well then listen, folks.
That's original. Am I the only one that when I think of that goof, I think of Fred Flintstone. I think of L.A. Knight and Fred Flintstone comes to my mind if he was a Hanna-Barbera character. Ah.
Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Larry Zbyszko, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2023, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, you want to do another one? Here's another chance for the yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Customer service never answers a thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken, and the customer service never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never answers a thing.